Khan. Shalom, shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Mashak, Womalak, Yahawashi. That's all praises on glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His own begotten Son, Yahawashi. So, of course, Brother Yasha Ali come back to yet another video through the Spirit pod Yahweh, Bahasham, Mashak, Womalak, Yahawashi. All right. So, Shabbat Shalom to all that's observing it. Friday, sundown to Saturday, sundown, another Sabbath through the Spirit pod Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And another day to labor more abundantly, and also another day of rest, all right, to the spirit. All right, so I'm gonna get straight into this, right? It's going into seeking Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi. Now it's really going into Job, the 8th chapter, not the whole thing, right? Not the whole chapter, but really verses within it. Now, when you read Job, a lot of times they'll put in Job, you find a lot of times a very parabolically way that explain Slock. It parabolically explains repentance a lot of times in the book of Job, right? So let's read this real quick. Job chapter 8 and verse 1. It says, Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, How long wilt thou speak these things? And how long shall the words of thy mouth be like a strong wind? Doth God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? You see that? So the Lord said, Doth God pervert judgment? So yeah, the Most High, He doesn't pervert judgment, man. He's a God of judgment. He's a God of justice. All right, Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi. Because guess what? The Most High, He's not like these Edomites. All right, these Edomites like this court system in America, and they even show you that. You know the statue that they have in the courtrooms in America. It will have this lady, right, which I believe symbolizes America, right? You have like this lady, and she's holding up two, basically weights, all right. But one should be equal, but it's actually one is lighter and heavier than the other. The one is heavier than the other one, and the other one's lighter. So it's like it's up. This one's up here, and then this one's damn down here, right? So they'll even show you the inequality of America, right, in their own court systems. But it says, what doth God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? So the Most High, hell no, the Most High doesn't do that, right? The Most High is all about justice and judgment. All right, let's go to this. It's a book of Isaiah, right? It's a book of Isaiah, chapter 61. The Lord said He loves judgment. It's a book of Isaiah, chapter 61. And verse 8, for I, the Lord, love judgment. So Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi, He said it right there, right? That He loves judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offering, and I'll direct their work in truth, and I'll make an everlasting covenant with them. So the Lord, He loves judgment. He loves executing judgment. He loves righteousness, right? It's a book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, right? It's a book of Jeremiah 9 and 23, right? It says what? Thus saith Yahawah, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am Yahawah, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. So the Most High, he executes those three things in the earth. It says exercise loving kindness. That's the first. Judgment and righteousness in the earth. He does all those three things, right? For in these things I delight, saith Yahawah. See that? In those three things He delights in. Loving kindness, being long-suffering toward His people, right? Loving His people, giving them mercy, as the Lord stated that He's ready to forgive, right? And also what? Loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. So the Lord, He loves judgment. That's why when the Lord, when Yahawashi comes back, guess what? That's why it's also called the day of the Lord, because that's when the Lord will appease his anger, because He's going to show forth that judgment. And, you even read about, or you hear about the judgment day, So the Lord, He delights in judgment, and He judges people all the time. He judges people all the time through giving you a sickness, through giving you a certain disease, through you're making your woman leave you, right? Making you go through emotional pain and all this other stuff, and your car breaking down and all this other stuff, man. That's how the Lord judges men. right? Let's go to Psalm chapter 103, right? In verse 8, it says, "The Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and plenteous in mercy." So the Lord is plenteous in mercy, all right? But we also understand that, look, the Lord is also a God of judgment, all right? But we can go back to this, right? Let's go to the book of Job. Back to the book of Job, chapter 8, right? This is the book of Job, chapter 8, verse 3. "Doth God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice?" No, he doesn't. If the Lord gave you a judgment, guess what? You receive, that's your just recompense for what you did, huh? Remember, all the works of the Lord are exceeding good. Let's go to that. Sirach chapter 39. All of the works of Yahawashi and Yahawashi are exceeding good. Let's say you going the hell off. Whatever judgment that the Lord gave you, guess what? It's just, because guess what? The Most High himself alone is the judge, right? God himself is the judge. Lucky, give me a second. Right? So lucky, right? Let's go to Sirach chapter 39, right? It's a book of Sirach, chapter 39. Right? All of the works are exceeding good. Sirach chapter 39 and verse 15. "Magnify his name and show forth his praise with the songs of your lips and with harps, and in praising him you shall say after this manner, all of the works are exceeding good, and whatsoever he commandeth shall be accomplished in due season." So all of the works of the Lord are exceeding good. Whatever he does, whatever he created, it's good in the eyes of the Lord, right? It's good. So whatever judgment he put forth, guess what? The Lord said in Revelation 13 at 10, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." That's a just recompense. That's a just reward for your iniquity, for your sin. Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 4, verse 8, right? Job chapter 4 and verse 8. "Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same." So if you plow iniquity, right? Slut. If you plow iniquity, right, you're meddling in your sins, you're going the hell off, you're sinning, right? And it says what? "And so wickedness, you're going to reap the same. You're going to reap evil, right? You're going to get evil from the Lord. If you indulge yourself in evil, you're going to receive evil of the Lord. All right. Job chapter 8 and verse 4. All right, Salakia, I have one more precept. All right. Because compared to Esau, you can kill like 7 people, and depending on who you are and what the situation is, according to Esau, you can get away with it. You can walk, right? And you killed 7 people. But the Lord, guess what? The Lord, he deals with all things in decency and order, right? The Lord said he will in no wise let thee go, right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5, in verse 4. "Say not, I have sinned, and what harm have happened unto me? For the Lord is long suffering; he will in no wise let you go." So the Most High God is a judge, man. That's why he's a great and terrible, because at any given second he can judge us, right? It's a book of Second Ezra, chapter 16, and verse number 67. "Behold, God himself is the judge. Fear him." So the Most High himself is the judge. All right. "Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquity, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall God lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble." So that's when the Most High is going to lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble, right? When you understand and put away your sins, because you understand the Most High is the judge of all, right? And that he will never pervert justice or judgment, right? This is the book of Job, chapter 8, verse 4. "If thy children have sinned against him, and he have cast them away for their transgression." So that can happen for you, right? Or that can happen to you. You can have children and a multitude of ungodly children. They commit iniquity and the Lord can cast them off, right? It says, "And he have cast them away for their transgression." Verse 5. So now we get into the point in verse 5. "If thou wouldest seek unto the Most High, be times, and make thy supplication to the Almighty." So you want to seek unto the Most High, be times, right? Now, what does the word be times mean? Let's go to that. All right. what does B times me? All right. This is a book, Slovakia. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. All right. So this is the word for B times in Job chapter 8 and verse 5. Okay.
Strong's H 7836. Shacher. Shacher.
So shacher, right? Now it says to seek early, early or earnestly. Look early or diligently for. You see that? So we have to be seeking the Most High early, earnestly, to look diligently for Yahawah and Yahawashi, right? Now I'm thinking about a couple precepts, right? So let's go to Proverbs. All right, let's go to let's go to Proverbs chapter 8, verse 17 first, right? Proverbs chapter 8, verse 17. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. So if you seek the Most High early, meaning diligently, and literally early. Some brothers, some sisters may even wake up at like 4 or 5 to pray to the Lord. Because hey, guess what? The Most High, or it's like Yahawashi, he did that, right? Even on the physical level, he woke up early in the morning and started to pray unto the Lord, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? But really, that word early, when you really get down to it, and the technicality of things, it means diligently or earnestly, right? So let's go to this. I'm gonna show that real quick in the book of Mark, right? That Yahawashi actually had separated himself in the morning, right, to go pray to the Lord. Right. It's lucky. Let me get my pocket Bible, right? Mark. So sometimes, you may even want to do that, seek the Lord early. And, like how they say, this is the book of Mark, chapter 1 and verse number 34. Right, I'm going to start at verse 33. It says, and all the city was gathered together at the door. So guess what? Yahawashi rose in popularity. Remember when Yahawashi was just, he didn't just pop up out the womb and everybody knew about Yahawashi, right? No, that's not how it worked, right? Remember, even when you go to the book of Luke, the second chapter, right? Let's go to that real quick. It's the book of Luke, chapter 2, and verse number 51. And he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was subject unto them. But his mother kept all these sayings in her heart. And Yahawashi increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with the Most High and man. So Yahawashi, right? He increased in favor. He had to increase in favor. He had to increase in popularity and fame, right? Just like with any, celebrity, even in the world, right? They had to rise up in popularity and fame, and then more and more people talk about them, more and more people know about them, and then they become to a certain level of popularity, and they become a celebrity, right? So when we go back to this in Mark chapter 1 and verse 33, that's why it says, and all the city was gathered together at the door. Damn, there, all the city. It said all the city, man. How many people are in a city? There's hella people in the city. They all gathered together at the door to hear the words of the Lord, to see Yahawashi, right? To get healed, Verse 34. And he healed many that were sick of diverse diseases and cast out many devils and suffered not the devils to speak because they knew him, right? And just like how these demons know Yahawashi, they know you also, right? But here's the point, verse 35. And in the morning, rising up a great while before day, he went out and departed into a solitary place and there prayed. So that's what the Lord, he actually rose up early. It says a great while before day, meaning a great while before the daytime, before the sun came up. Now, we don't even know how long that was. He could have woke up at 3 a.m. He could have got up at 4 a.m., started praying to the Lord, right? The sun doesn't come up till like, 7, 7 something. But he was up a great while before day praying to the Lord, seeking him early, right? But really, when you go down to the technicality of things, that word early goes into earnestly, okay? So when we go back to this in Proverbs, all right, Proverbs, all right, this book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 17. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me, Okay, so if you seek the Most High earnestly, man, call it upon the name of the Lord. You know, you're reading, you're linked this precept with that, watching 10,000 videos. Guess what? The Lord said, knock and it should be open unto you. All right, we'll get that as well. But I want to put this up on the screen real quick because this is a very, very good precept, man. This is a very, very good precept. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 2, verse 1. It says, my son, if thou will receive my words and hide my commandments with thee. So you have to receive the words of the Lord, right? If thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee. Okay, hide them with you, man. Right? Just like how the Lord said, that which you have already, hold fast till I come. You gotta hold that fast. You gotta hold your righteousness fast, like how Job said. My righteousness I hold fast, right? Right, Salakia. Righteousness, right? My righteousness I hold fast, right? This is the book of Job, chapter 27, verse 6. It says, my righteousness I hold fast and will not let it go. My heart shall not reproach me so long as I live. So Job even said he's going to hold his righteousness fast and he's not going to let that go. Okay? He's not going to relapse back into sin. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to go back, like how the Lord said, into perdition. He's not going to be like a dog in Proverbs chapter 26, verse 11, right? And go back to his own vomit. He's going to hide the commandments with him. Verse 2, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. Remember, you have to apply your heart to understanding. You can't think to understand everything in the scriptures if you're not willing to put in the work, right? It's just not going to work, man. It's not going to work. You want to understand Daniel chapter 12, right? But all you're doing, you're just reading it 1,000 times, right? You're not watching any videos on it. You're just reading it, and that's it, right? Now, guess what? That's not going to work. Sometimes you gotta watch videos. You gotta pray to the Lord for wisdom. You gotta seek out this thing. You gotta apply thine heart to understanding. Applying thine heart. You have to be willing to hear, be willing to learn. If you come in that spirit, the Lord is going to sup with you, right? Remember, the Lord doesn't want to feed anybody that doesn't want to be fed, right? What does he look like? He's trying to trying to give you the spoon, and you like this. Like you're knocking the spoon out Yahawah's hand. Remember, when Yahawah sups with you, he's basically feeding you the spiritual knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Right? But if you don't want to be fed, then guess what? The Lord, he's gonna get up, right? He's gonna slide the chair back, he's gonna slide the chair, and he's gonna take the food, and he's gonna say Shalom, and he's gonna be out, right? And then you're just gonna be left and you're gonna be destroyed and die without knowledge. All right, Proverbs chapter 2, verse 3. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge. So when do we ever cry after knowledge, man? Right? You have to be crying after knowledge. You gotta cry, right? Cry, Yahawah, please give me the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Right? Let's go to the book of James, chapter 1, verse 5. You gotta cry after knowledge, man. Cry after it. It's the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 5. And it reads, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. So the Lord said, if you lack wisdom, then just pray to the Lord. Because the Lord, he gives wisdom out just like this. He gives it out just like that, man. He gives it to all men liberally, and upbraideth not. He's not going to be, if you asking the Lord with a sincere heart for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, right? You're not asking it because you're trying to be the wisest brother to ever walk the earth. You're trying to be greater than Solomon. That's why you're asking for this wisdom. If you're asking him with a sincere and pure heart because you want to increase the knowledge and wisdom understanding, so you may teach your brother, you may teach your sister, you may also with that salvation be saved, right? According to Proverbs, like Isaiah, right? As the Lord said, wisdom and knowledge shall be thy stability to thy times, the strength of salvation, Isaiah 33 and 6, right? You're asking the Lord with a sincere heart to do that, then guess what? The Lord is going to give it to you. It says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that give it to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. What does the Lord look like? You praying for the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and the Lord's like, nah, I don't want to give it to him. Right? Nah. I don't want him to understand me. I don't want him to understand my book. Why would those words come out the Lord's mouth? Right? Now the Lord, he can do all things, but the Lord, he wants you to understand. All right. But you got to come in that sincere heart. But going back to this in Proverbs chapter 2, verse 3, it says, yea, if thou criest after knowledge, right, and liftest up thy voice for understanding. Even in the book of Psalms, let's go to this. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 55. Right? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 55. And I think I'm on verse 17. All right. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 17. Evening and morning and at noon, right, will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. So David, he said at evening, morning, and at noon will I pray and cry aloud. So sometimes we got to cry upon the name of the Lord, right, and cry after knowledge and lift up our voice for understanding, on a physical level and on a spiritual level, going into what, or a more metaphorical level, going into what you reading, you putting in the work because you want to understand, right? You want to increase in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 7, right? Actually, let me keep reading this, then we'll go to Matthew 7, right? Proverbs chapter 2, verse 3. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge and lifteth up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasures. So you ever watch those movies with pirates, like the Pirates of the Caribbean? Guess what? They were selling the damn 7 seas, so going over here, going over there, going to the Caribbeans, going to, the shores of West and Southern Africa and, Brazil, or wherever they were at. I don't even know. But guess what? They were selling all these seas miles upon end to find some silver, to find the hidden gold and the hidden silver and stuff and the hid treasures. And these men, they diligently look for that stuff. You even see people at the beach with the metal detector, and they're just out there, right, with the headphones, and they're just out there, on the beach looking for some hidden treasures. Just looking for it, just digging up stuff, and they're just looking for this silver and this gold. And they're thinking to make it rich, So just like how they look for silver and they yearn for gold and covet after it and go out their wits for gold, we have to go out of our wits for this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. If thou seekest her, this her is talking about wisdom. All right, because that let's go back to, because it says so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom. So the subject matter here is wisdom. That her is talking about wisdom. All right. And as silver, and searches for her as for hid treasures. Hey, remember, there's even let's go to Job chapter 28, right? Even Job mentioned that, right? Job chapter 28 and verse 1. Surely there is a vein for the silver and a place for gold where they find it. So there's a place, like a mine shaft, essentially. There's a place in which people want to dig up. They're digging up silver. They're looking for it 24/7. That's their job. They're looking for silver. They're looking for gold. Even have that on a physical level. So how much more on the spiritual level? We're looking and searching after wisdom and knowledge and understanding, right? And how do you search after it? Like how I said, you praying, you reading, you're studying, up late, up night, you're waking up early and you're watching all these videos and all this other stuff, right? Verse 5. Then shalt thou understand. So after you've done all this, you're crying after knowledge. You're searching after you're searching after wisdom, like how you will search for silver and for money, right, and for the hid treasures. After you have done all this, you're inclining your heart unto wisdom, meaning you're listening as well. Remember, the Lord said, if you bow down your ear, you're going to understand. You're going to be wise. You're going to bow. If you just listen, you should just shut up and listen, and you're going to be wise, man. Right? If you're taught by a wise man. Right, but it says what, verse 5, then shalt thou understand the fear of Yahawah and find the knowledge of the Most High. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. See that? Bahasham, Yahawashi. That's when you're going to understand. That's when you're going to understand the Lord. That's when you're going to have this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, right? And be glorified in it, But So I had a precept as well in Matthew chapter 7. Now I can pull that up too. All right, let's go to that. It's the book of Matthew chapter 7. It's the book of Matthew chapter 7. All right, Matthew chapter 7 and verse number 7. Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. So the Lord said, seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. So we have to be knocking, knocking at the Lord's door for this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, right? Knocking and seeking, seeking the Lord, man. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. What man is there of you, whom if his son asks bread, he will give him a stone? Or if he asks a fish, will he give him the serpent? Right. So if we don't know men, right, who have children, right, or have you have children. If your children say to you, "Can we have some bread?" Are you going to give them a stone? Are you going to give them a rock instead of that bread? No, you're going to give them the bread, right? You got a damn loaf over there. You're going to give them the bread and not a damn stone, right? Or if you ask a fish, will you give him a serpent? Right? You're not going to give your son, if he's asking for some fish, you're not going to give him a damn snake. Why would you do that? Right? So the same way with the Lord, right? Verse 11. If ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? See that? So all right? And he will do that, right? For his people. So yeah, going back to this in Job. Job. All right. Chapter 8 and verse number 5. If thou wouldest seek unto God betimes and make thy supplication to the Almighty. So if you do that, you're seeking the Lord, yearning after wisdom, calling upon the name of the Lord, right? Verse 6. If thou were pure and upright, surely now he will awake for thee and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. So the Lord will awake for you, So if you looking after him, guess what? The Lord's going to be like, hey, guess what? You found me. I'm right here. And he's going to open onto you, Let's go to that. Let's go to Mark chapter 10. Let's get in a prime example of that. Mark chapter 10 and verse number 44. So let's pull up the my screen. Right, Mark chapter 10 and verse 46. Okay, and it says, and they came to Jericho, and as he went out of Jericho with his disciples and a great number of people, blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, sat by the highway side begging. So this man, his name was blind Bartimaeus. All right, he was begging by the highway side. And when he heard that it was Yahawashi Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, Yahawashi, thou son of David, have mercy on me. So he was crying out unto the Lord. He was saying, Yahawashi, thou son of David, have mercy on me, man. That's what he was saying. He was crying out unto the Lord. He was trying to seek the Lord. He couldn't even see him, but yet he had faith and was saying, Yahawashi, thou son of David, have mercy on me. Right? And many charged him that he should hold his peace. So everybody, you probably had like 20, 30, 50 people, right? Saying, hey, shut up, right? Be quiet. Stop talking, stop yelling. We're trying to hear the Lord, right? Many charged him that he should hold his peace, meaning that he should shut up, right? But it says what? But he cried the more a great deal. So, hey, guess what? Even on a spiritual level, you might be praying, you might be studying, and you're just like, yeah, man, I just can't get it, man. Right? How come I can't memorize the precepts like this brother? How come I can't, I keep forgetting this precept, keep forgetting this breakdown? How come it looks like they're waxing more mightier, but I'm doing everything I can? I'm not waxing as mighty, right? But it says what? It says, and he cried more the deal, man. The more a great deal. So he just went harder, right? It says, thou son of David, have mercy on me. So he cried the more a great deal. He out of all that tribulation he was going through and people shutting him away, He just cried the more a great deal. He just cried more loudly, right? And that's how that shows you how much he was determined, right, to be healed from the Lord or by the Lord. Verse 49. And Yahawashi stood still and commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, saying unto him, Be of good comfort, rise, he calleth thee. And he, casting away his garment, rose and came to Yahawashi. Casting off that garment is symbolic for what? Right? Casting off that old man. When you come to the Lord, you want to cast off your old man, your old pernicious ways. That's as it states in the book of Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. That you put off the conversation of the old man. All right. That's that garment, your old understanding, your old ways. All right. Verse 51. And Yahawashi answered and said unto him, What wilt thou that I should do unto thee? So Yahawashi said, What do you want? Right? What do you want me to do to you? Says the blind man said unto him, Lord, that I might receive thy sight, or my sight. And Yahawashi said unto him, Go thy way, thy faith hath made thee whole. And immediately he received his sight and followed Yahawashi on the way. So the Lord said, Go thy way, thy faith hath made thee whole. Thy faith. It boils down to faith, man. Right? It doesn't boil down to how long your fringes are. It doesn't boil down to if your ram horn was from Bethlehem or was it from Judah, right? Or was it from Jerusalem? It doesn't boil down to that. It boils down to, do you have faith? Because your faith is really what's going to make you whole. Okay, even even in the book of Sirach, the 38th chapter, it says, "Is any sick, or slot? Pray to the Lord, and He shall make thee whole." Now, what does prayer take? Prayer takes faith, man. Prayer takes faith. So come. So let's go back to this, man. Right, and this is not a video. I didn't want to make it too long, but just going into Job, the 8th chapter, in depth. Just going into that. These few verses in here. Job chapter 8 and verse 5. If thou wouldest seek unto God betimes and make thy supplication to the Almighty, making your supplication unto Him, praying unto Him, repentance, repenting, confessing thy sins, right? That's making your supplication unto the Lord. All right, verse 6. If thou were pure and upright, surely now He will wait for thee and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. So He's going to make thy habitation prosperous. If you seek unto Him and repent and make thy supplication before His face, He's going to do stuff for you and make your habitation prosperous. That's how the Lord works. It says what? He's fair. The Lord said, "Are not my ways equal?" Let's go to that. Are not my ways equal? It's a book of Ezekiel. All right, I want to get this in the book of Ezekiel. All right, Ezekiel 18. And pop this up on the screen. All right, this book of Ezekiel, chapter 18 and verse 25. Yet ye say, the way of the Lord is not equal. Hear now, O house of Israel, is not my way equal? Are not your ways unequal? So the Lord said, hey, the Lord is arguing, for lack of better terms, because the Lord doesn't really have to argue, but He's reasoning with His people, right? It says what? The way of the Lord is not equal. That's what Israel says. Oh, man. It don't make any sense, right? It's not fair. Why do we have to keep all these commandments? Why do we have to read every day, right? The way of the Lord is not equal. That's what they will say, right? Hear now, O house of Israel, is not my way equal. So the Lord is fair. And we're about to go into that. It says, through the Spirit, are not your ways unequal? So Israel's ways are actually unequal, and the Lord explains, verse 26, when a righteous man turneth away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity and dieth in them, for his iniquity that he hath done shall he die. Again, when the wicked man turneth from his wickedness that he hath committed and doeth that is lawful and right, he shall save his soul alive. Because he considereth and turneth away from all his transgressions that he hath committed, he shall surely live, he shall not die. Yet saith the house of Israel, the way of the Lord is not equal. O house of Israel, are not my ways equal? Are not your ways unequal? You see that? And that is fair. you turn from your wickedness and go into righteousness, guess what? You're going to live. You're not going to die. The Lord's not going to kill you. He's actually going to provide for you. That's fair. You know, if you're a wicked man and you remain in your wickedness, you're gonna die. You're gonna perish. That's equal. That's fair. You know, and that's what the Lord is saying. All right, that's what the Lord is saying. Hey, you do this for Him. Well, you're essentially not doing it for Him. You're doing it for your own good, right? When you're keeping the commandments. But when just like how a father, because remember the Lord is also our Father, so just like how on a physical level you listen to your father and obey him, right? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, a wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. So a wise son is going to what? He's going to listen to his father. All right. A wise son is going to listen to his father. So just like how you will listen to your father on a physical level, and he will reward you. He will give you rewards for being such a obedient and willing child, right? And same thing with the Lord. He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to. The Lord doesn't have to give you the kingdom, but it is his good pleasure to give you the kingdom, because he sees how much you love for him, and he sees how much you are trying to be obedient to him, Bakan. All right, so I'm just ending it off. All right, I'm just ending it off right, by reading that latter verse in the book of Job, chapter 8. All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 6. If thou were pure and upright, surely now he will wake for thee and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. Though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase. So that's what's going to happen to everybody that's in this truth right now, right, and makes it into the kingdom of heaven. Most High willing, we're part of that number, because it says, though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase. Even on a more so physical level right now, when you came into the truth, you didn't know as many precepts, you didn't know as many breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't in the spirit like how you might be right now. You started off small, but in your latter end, you're going to greatly increase. And also, if you make it to the kingdom of heaven, guess what? This right now is small. You have small understanding. I have small understanding. It's nothing to compare to the understanding you will get in the kingdom of heaven, and the mighty spirit you will have in the kingdom of heaven. That's when you're going to greatly increase. That's when you're going to have a rulership over 10 cities. That's when you're going to have rulership over 5 cities. What brother has rulership over 5 cities right now? Right? Nobody. We don't have rulership. We don't have dominion. We don't have crowns upon our head right now, man. We're small right now. But guess what? The Lord said he's going to greatly increase our latter end. Whether it be in this world or in the next, especially in the next. Makan. So with that, all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So just going into Job, the 8th chapter, verses 1 through 7. Lord willing, this is edifying, Brother Yasha Ali. Shalom. Kwam Yasha Ali.